What is up, everyone? Thank you guys so much for tuning into this message, past, present, and future. Time, I feel, is irrelevant. So when we think of the past, we think of course, it's not the past, but I'm going to open up the channels, open up the energy, and open up where this goes. So I thank you guys so much for tuning into this channel. As I said, this is Manifold Destiny. It's been 3 years since I've done a reading for you guys, and I was under the impression that I likely wouldn't come back to this, that I would go and move forward and continue with my other channel. So I have about 2 other channels that I separate and kind of organize information and messages into, and that is the Hermetic Herald, which is recently kind of shaped into something different, and also my other channel, Welcome Home Beloved. And so we're going to see how this goes. I would like to channel information through this message or through this YouTube channel for a reason, because I feel like Manifold Destiny has specific messages, and the way in which it reaches people, I feel like it's intentional. So yeah, let's begin. My name is Francine, if I haven't said that earlier, and I am going to just share something that I did a reading for earlier. I felt like I wanted to come in with a message, and instead of shuffling all the cards like right now, right here with you guys, I decided to just sit and meditate on a message, which I've decided to title Wishful Thinking versus Your Intuition. This equals a fruitful alignment with your higher mind and with your higher self. So I feel like a common theme or a common thread that a lot of people in the spiritual community can relate to is wondering or considering the fact that something they feel drawn to do may stem from an intuitive nudging, or there's a fear sometimes of whether it is wishful thinking to do something, or, is this for me? Is this meant for me? Or am I just doing something crazy? However you perceive crazy to be, that is going to be different for everyone. But there's a need for us to pursue alignment with our higher mind, and to know that our higher mind is not only us, it is meant to be in sync with us. It's meant to guide us. It's meant to encounter us and to transform us, because it is us ultimately leading the charge, not someone else, not our spirit guides, not the deities, not the laws, not the other energies out there. We have to first look within. And I've heard this in different sects and different groups, I think every group apart from the main 3, I believe. Most sects recognize the importance of yourself, of your Ori, like your head, like your higher self, your guidance within your compass. And there's a need for us to feel comfortable with our inner guidance and our inner compass, and not to dismiss it, not to say, your voice isn't important. I don't know what it sounds like anyway. Let's move on. Let's diminish, or let's just kind of chalk it up to wishful thinking when something comes up from your higher self. Because oftentimes, and I think this is what happens a lot for the collective, a lot of the messages we receive is coming from our higher mind, reaching to other people, because a lot of us depend, or at least feel more like things are confirmed more through other people. So you'll notice that for channeled messages and such, a lot of the times what's really happening is, sure, your spirit guides are guiding those channelers, right? Those people around you to give you messages online, on YouTube, on Reddit, whatever it may be. But that's your higher self reaching out to them ahead of time. So a lot of the time your higher self is speaking to you through different modes and mediums in order for you to address something in your life, and you feel the need to go towards that, pick a card, or go towards a person, or go towards Reddit or something like that for the answers. The answers are within you. It's just now so many people do it a certain way that it tends to come through people. So I want to talk about how you can kind of tell when something is wishful thinking, perhaps something out of the box that isn't really meant for you, but it kind of gets you in a place of alignment, because I feel like it's intentional. I think wishful thinking is still important and impactful, because it still means you're dreaming. It still means you're imagining. It still means that you're trying to get out of the box, so to speak, some sense of confinement in some way. So when I was tapping into this energy, I remembered I used a couple of decks here that I'm going to try to write down for you guys if you're interested in these decks. They're not decks that I've had in other videos on this channel, so I'm going to have to just kind of list them and provide them to you if you'd like to know what they are. But there was a deck, it's called the Crow Oracle deck, not the Crow Tarot, but it's from the same artist or same author. And I noticed that for wishful thinking, right, the advice for those who feel like they're wishful thinking, I think I'm going to separate it. For those that feel like a lot of the times things come up in their brain and they're like, I don't think I could do that because it's something, it's out of the norm, or it's in league with, I don't know why I was about to say in league with the devil or something like that. Like it's something like that seems self-centered, that seems really self-involved to do something that's only about you, that might affect others in some way, shape, or form. A lot of the times we look towards others, like people in our immediate surroundings and people we trust, like mentors, coworkers, friends, family, lovers, right, to give us an idea or to either help support an idea. And if people don't agree with it and they're not used to it, they're going to dismiss it. So you think that's wishful thinking. Well, the card that came through was mimicry. Okay, mimicry. For those that feel like they are wishful thinking at times, your advice is sometimes it's okay to, when you're feeling led to go in a direction that seems kind of out of the box. You know the term fake it till you make it, or fake it till you make it. It's fine to do that at times. Okay, I've seen situations in my life where I've had to say, okay, I have to take a step somewhere, even though I don't know what the hell is going to happen, but I know this is where my heart's leading me to. Whenever you have those moments, it's not bad inherently to be fearful about that step. Now, you want to address your belief systems about the ability you have to do those things, definitely, before you do it. Because I feel like your belief systems will affect how you manifest and what you bring to the table, or what you get out of that decision and action, right? You want to make sure that you actually believe that it can happen in conjunction with the action itself. You do need to act. I know some of you have heard this probably before, but what is faith without your works? I feel like that's like a general and very like foundational thing. You don't have to be Christian. You don't have to be of a religious background to see that the importance of helping others around you, it takes more than just faith that God will provide. It takes acting. Takes doing something. It takes donating. It takes giving. It takes putting energy and thought into helping people around you, even if you know that there's a higher power behind it. You are the higher mind. You are the higher power in your own life. So you need to put some action behind what you think and feel about your belief systems, or what you think and feel about your ability to do something out of the box. So your spirit team is telling you, it's okay to fake it till you make it in the beginning, right? Like, even though you're scared shitless, perhaps, keep going and doing it. Your authenticity should still remain in some measure, though. So you have to be authentic to the action itself. When you feel like it's wishful thinking to buy a car, to buy this new car, this really beautiful, I don't know, Jaguar or something, like, you want to buy a car that you've dreamed about having. I mean, you have to actually authentically want it, because I feel like the desire for it is going to fade pretty quickly after. So there's something about authenticity with what you want and whether it's for you, not just looking at what other people have as well, because sometimes we can look at other people and think that's what we want. But there's something about authenticity in the thing that you want. Also in addressing, as we said before, the belief system about whether you can get what you want. Do you believe that you can get the thing that you're looking for? If you're in a 9-to-5 right now, for instance, and you want to break out of that and you want to go and start your own business, do you believe that you can do that? You have to be able to believe that you're able and capable of doing that, truly. And that oftentimes actually requires breaking down the thought pattern, and breaking down like the dismissive energies around you, perhaps the dismissive energies within you that tell you, oh, that's just too much. People are not going to respect spiritual business as much as they respect you becoming a nurse or becoming a doctor, for example. You have to kind of assess whether you care, whether the belief systems you have are, I'm hearing fatalistic or based upon the opinions of others, because we are raised around people. We are cultivated through a group of people and individuals in our life. And so it affects how we perceive ourselves. It affects how we perceive situations, especially at those really precarious times when you're growing up, and who you believe and what things you kind of stick to based on the person and how it shows up for you. So for those of you that are feeling like there's this desire in your heart to do something and you think it might be wishful thinking, all you have to do is, one, come to a place of recognition of what it is that you believe about yourself. 2, stepping forward. And 3, being authentic in how you step forward and do this thing. Okay, that's what I would say to break it down. And also, I would like to ask the people that are wishful or feel like they're wishful thinkers, whose voice do you hear when you hear your intuition? How does your intuition come through for you? It may differ based on the circumstances. Maybe there's something that you need to hear loud and clear in the moment because it's your safety is at risk, for instance. Or there's a time where you don't feel like you hear your voice, like it feels really faint, really soft. Listen to how your intuition comes through. And also, as you act on those things, how loud it starts to become, or how distinct it begins to become, because I feel like it's like a muscle. It's like a part of you. Once you're more in alignment with yourself or acting on the things that your intuition is guiding you to, there's a strength that comes to it in numbers, right? In quantity and quality of acting on the things that feel so like you feel so inclined to do. And this is, of course, within the understanding that you're doing something that is beneficial to you, beneficial to your soul. It's not about doing things in excess, like addictions of some sort. Okay, I want to make sure I'm clarifying that it's something that's in your intuition is going to lead you to a place of fulfillment, deep fulfillment, and not into a rut. So there's something about piecing together your intuition and determining whether that is your intuition or whether that is something that you rely on heavily. If it is something you rely on heavily, your belief systems will need to be addressed. That is what you're listening to rather than your intuition. It's your belief systems when that happens. So next thing I noticed, and this is the other card, the 2 cards that came through. For those of you that feel like you're involved or intertwined and you're connected deeply to your intuition, 44 and 45 came through. So those numbers might be significant, 8 and 9. You may be going through a cycle of flow, of synergy. It feels like things are going and moving and propelling. And you're almost completing a cycle. Your spirit team is saying that, and your higher self, I feel, primarily is saying, there's a need for you to gather information and determine what you like now, what you don't like, what you can and won't settle for. Now that you've had time and utilizing your energy and your intuition intentionally, right? Because we all have been using it for all this time in some measure, but there's a strengthening in your ability to initiate this conversation with your inner self or your higher mind, and to say, what should I do with this situation? How can I operate with this situation? I've seen this happen before, but how do I feel about who I am as a person now, and what can I gather from my experiences? They want you to just take things into consideration. It's kind of like the 7 of Pentacles. Gather your information, determine what you like, and then what you don't like going forward. Like, what did you do recently that you didn't like, that you don't think is linking or linked to your deepest desires or feelings or passions? Scrap it, or at least learn from those things. You want to always learn something from the experience as well. As sometimes our spirit team will connect and will support us learning lessons in that way. where even if you think it's not beneficial to you in the future, sometimes you need to go a certain route in order to come to that place, knowing that information. Sometimes people talk to you and say like, hey, don't do this, man. I went that direction and I got this. But sometimes you actually do need to go in that direction, because sometimes there's a lesson to be learned in it that will prevent you from going. It's more so it kind of tuning into what it is that your heart needs to learn from something. Because, for example, we all have had our parents tell us, don't go dating that guy, don't go dating that girl, she's going to break your heart and this and that. But the feelings were still real. And there's something about, even in those moments, it's easier to say, okay, mom, okay, dad, let me not do that. And then end up in that situation again where you don't have your mother or father and you do them anyway, right? There's no need to blame yourself. There's no need to be to beat yourself up about it. But there was a lesson in love and in karma, perhaps, quote unquote, karma, whatever it is, to balance the scales, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes we have to go through those situations on our own in order to really understand the meaning behind it, because sometimes we just don't get it. So this is for specific things you'll know, because it's going to be geared towards whatever it is that you came to learn in this life and in this incarnation. Just go where you feel led at the end of the day. And I feel like people don't like to say that because they're fearful that someone will say, well, what if my daughter or son wants to go to a drug dealer? Am I just going to let them go? They're not property. So they're going to choose regardless. There's a need to trust and to instill in them all that you can, and to allow them to do what it is that they're trying to do. Because at the end of the day, you're not in control of them as a human being. They are separate in a sense from you because they have a soul contract that's different from yours or distinct. Not everything is going to be exactly the same because they came, or that they are from your body or from your biology. There's different karmic patterns and lessons that need to be learned ancestrally, and it's just a part of the process, and it's a hard truth. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I will say that. And so the question for the first one was, are you taking what you can get, collective? For those of you that feel like you've gathered all your information based on your actions, based on following your intuition thus far, are you taking what you can get still? Are you still operating in a scarcity mindset? Is there still more that you can grow? Because after the Seven of Pentacles is the Eight of Pentacles. That's like working steadily on something. So if you're feeling like you're stagnating and you're looking back and you're like, what have I done so far? Like, is this all worth it? Was this for nothing? There's a need to not be dismissive of yourself or limit yourself. So dismissive or limiting tendencies are being addressed within you. So there's something about dreaming for bigger. There's like a continuation of this. It's not over. It's not over yet for you guys. Okay. And I feel drawn to mention the panther totem. I don't know if someone here has a panther totem. I do. And I feel like someone here, it came out as I said that. So there's something about needing to gather your strength, needing to gather this information, and to continue the path forward, and to move into this new energy that's coming in for you. And I'm hearing words that I've heard from other readers. So I've heard it from one in particular. There's silver cord. So there's something about a silver cord. Something about the symbol is significant. You have a silver cord. This is interesting. What I do know about silver is that it apparently is sterile. And from my research, there's something about a cord being significant, perhaps how we're connected, or there's something about all of us in the collective dealing with like a need for courage and to see the silver lining in the moments. Perhaps silver lining will be significant to say here as well. The person that I channeled, I don't know why I said it like that, but the person that I'm referring to with the silver cord reference is their channel is, they have 3 channels. One is Tarot and Beyond. So maybe someone's meant to go there. Tarot and Beyond, and then the Divine channel. They're the same person, but they have 2 different channels for 2 different like kind of types of readings. More so esoteric ones in the Tarot or the Divine channel, and then more so like channeled messages, and then the other is pick a card for tarot and beyond. So someone might need to look into that. I'm hearing interpolating, so I don't know what that means. I'll look that up later. But there's something here about the next card, pampering. There's time, and there is time for you guys. There's time to put your needs above others here. At this time, there's a need for you to put your needs above others. Look towards what can be done in the short term, that will benefit others in the long term. When you cultivate yourself, cultivate that love for yourself, because I'm doing this also on February 14th, and mind you, this is something you do daily. It doesn't matter what day it is. But for Valentine's Day today, it's 2025. I don't know if I said that to you guys, but there's something significant about self-love in this day today as I'm channeling this, and the need for you to look inwards, to look at what you can do for yourself in this moment that you've been putting off, that may be linked to the information that you need to deepen. There's a need to understand something in a deeper measure here. And that might be putting some energy into a course, or putting energy into some method of divination that you feel drawn to do, but you need to add money to it. You know, there's something about needing to put the money, or put the finances, or put the different forms of abundance, you know, into those things, so that you can then cultivate yourself, cultivate what will benefit people in the long term. Think about how you can help people when you're acting on what it is that you were meant to do from the very beginning. This is really important. What you do is really important. Who you continually become will be the prize others vie for. Okay, who you continually become will be the prize that others vie for. So there's something important about that I wanted to share with you guys. So to kind of keep moving into the next cycle of this, there's something here about not throwing out the baby with the bathwater, that reference. Okay, in the midst of misinformation, there is still a greater truth that is being revealed to you. So don't throw out everything when something comes along. So for instance, if your intuition is telling you something that sounds wild to you, don't throw out everything and say, oh, my intuition can't be trusted. My higher mind can't be trusted. I'm going crazy or something. I mean, go to a medical professional, a mental health professional if you feel like you're going into like the symptoms, the symptomology. You don't have to self-diagnose yourself. You can just go for that, because that's important as well. There's a science to everything. There's also a spiritual component. So this is for basic things. But for instance, if you feel like your intuition is telling you to quit your 9 to 5 because it's just not fulfilling your energy, not fulfilling you, you feel run down, you feel stressed, you feel like you need to go to the doctor because you've been working so freaking hard. Go to that doctor's appointment, but also consider the issue and where it's stemming from. Why do you have to experience and persist in something that doesn't seem to operate in conjunction with you or operate in flow with you? Like, where's the misdirected energy where you're pouring into something but not receiving what you truly need? There's a need to assess and reassess it, and then come to an understanding of what it is that you need to do going forward. Not everyone is meant to leave. Not everyone is meant to just start a new business. Not everyone's meant to do the same things. You need to just assess the deeper topics and the deeper themes in your life. Where do you give more than what you get? Okay, so there's something here about that. Don't throw out your trust of your intuition because it seems crazy to just leave and to quit your job. Okay, sometimes things can come in like that. Like sometimes you do have to stop things cold turkey, or you're encouraged, I should say. Your free will is at play. Your autonomy is always at play. You can choose not to do this. But if you were to choose to walk away from something because it's not fulfilling, or it's not it's stressing you out, it's affecting your mental health, your physical health and well-being, it's a sedentary lifestyle perhaps, and it's affecting your health, and you recognize that it's not actually doing you any good anymore. There's something about not just losing sight of the intuition and ignoring it altogether because you can't do it. You have to have this money. You have to get this money. Just look at what your intentions are when it comes to abundance, how you view abundance, your belief systems about your abundance, because abundance comes in various forms. our society relies on one in particular that you already know. But when it comes to abundance, there's something about your spiritual state affecting your physical state as well. It's not closed off or cut between the two. So there's something here about emotional fulfillment being a form of abundance as well. All right. And so when you're imbalanced and you have all this money or you don't have any, and then you have no emotional fulfillment, what kind of, equation is that? It's not the best equation. There's something here about give and take. There's some sacrifices or some decisions that are hard but need to be made in order for you to sustain your soul, to sustain your being. You have to make that decision for yourself. So just don't throw out every single thing because it doesn't seem to be aligning, or it doesn't seem to be going the way you expect. Perhaps your belief systems within what you're doing haven't changed and need to change. Just because you said, okay, I don't want to work this 9 to 5, I'm going to leave and trust God to give me all that I need, and then you don't get it, don't believe that, okay, God is just laughing in your face right now and that they misdirected you. No, that's just a belief system within you while you were searching for that new job or for that new business or that whatever it is. That doubt and coming from the belief system you had is the problem and is the thing that you need to focus on. What you believe is really the biggest factor in what you receive. So there's something here about not just completely turning away from God, quote unquote, from the universe, from friends, from family that told you to do something, because you should be doing it for other reasons. You should be doing it for a deeper reason, which is self-development and growth. There has to be some aspect of self-development and growth when you're starting something new, because it takes a new way of thinking and a mode of thinking. Okay, it's okay to take your time to make big decisions like that. Okay, so that's just one example. And so I wanted to kind of go into the third thing, which is the importance of sharing your thoughts and ideas. Your thoughts and ideas in the collective is actually likely the missing piece to a greater project within the collective consciousness as well. So when you feel like you want to do something different, please do it, because there's likely people out there that have been waiting for you, waiting for your energy, waiting for your impartation, because we all are connected. So there's something important about taking those steps and seeing how things come together without expectation of others coming alongside you, but letting yourself grow, letting yourself explore, letting yourself have fun, letting yourself see your creation come to pass, whatever that might be, big or small, and then seeing who comes alongside you and who is inspired by you. There are people around you that are inspired by you guys. I'm hearing finger of God. I don't know. Someone sees like you as like the progenitor of something godlike, and they're really impressed with you. And I'm hearing Wendy. So I don't know. There's something about your intuitive energy, your imagination, your ability to dream. Someone here is like, you think you're meager, but you're not. So your spirit team is saying you have the hand of God in your venture and in your project here. A very powerful energy came through. So the first archetype that they want you to embody, your spirit team, your higher self primarily, is the desire to balance the scales of justice in your life, righteousness on behalf of society or yourself. How are you being fair to yourself? How are you being just to yourself? How can you balance the scales of justice in your life so that you can receive all of the things you were born to receive and the things that you deserve to receive? Do you believe that you deserve balance, that you deserve to be happy, to actually like express yourself, to be in balance with the world, to actually live the way you want to? Do you believe that you can do that? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in the world, in the time that you came to incarnate? Because I do believe we choose to incarnate at certain times for certain experiences, even if they're terrible experiences, in the sense of what we go through and how it affects us, how it traumatizes us. I feel like those experiences are still impactful when you can apply them in some way towards your future. So there's something about just being fair to yourself. They want your spirit, your higher mind wants you to balance the scales of justice and to allow them to balance it for you. Because again, the universe is a supporter of you. The universe will support whatever you decide to do, literally. Like if you decide I am worthy of this and I can get this, it will actually put those situations in your pocket, in your midst. But then when you don't, you will be supported in that and you won't receive it. It's just about your energy. It's really like more so an equation than it is like a emotional, like partial connection where the person gets mad at you and then gives you like hellfire. It's more so applying the belief systems, and being in alignment with your belief systems is what matters most here. That's how I see it, at least. And so we have the next one is God, benevolence and compassion. The first one was Avenger. That's the archetype they want you to embody. This second one is benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Do you recognize the eternal force within you that literally, like, once this life is over, I don't know what you believe about it, but once this life is over, there's a lesson or contract or contracts you're addressing in this life that you will then say, okay, do I need to learn more about this? And you'll incarnate again and again and again, as much as you need to. And that's on a deep soul level. So there's something here about you realizing that you're eternal. Okay, in light of eternity, what can you do that makes the difference in your life? I mean, there's more to come. So don't do it with this fatalistic view that everything will fall apart and life will cease to exist if you take a step in the direction of your dreams. You have time. Okay, so be benevolent and compassionate to yourself in that. And then the third one, the light attribute. The third light attribute is ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. You have the experience, knowledge, and skill and wisdom as well within you. Your inner mind, your higher mind knows that. It has all the knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom you need. Remember that you are your own teacher. You are not alone. Even when you're forging a path that others will follow, you are still being taught by yourself, okay? By you. You are in control and you are in the driver's seat. Even when you let other people dictate what you do, up until a point, you still decide to walk in that direction. Please remember how empowered you are in all of this, guys, okay? And then finally, we have a few archetypes that reflect what you guys need to, what the people listening to this message that resonate with it so far need to address or to be careful with. Be careful with we have the poet archetype in the shadow. This is turning a lyric gift to negative or destructive event or effect. Please be careful of how you speak about yourself and your situations. Please do not operate in blaming all dysfunctional relationships on your wounding, on other people, kind of looking externally for people or looking externally for the issues, and resisting the flow of moving through forgiveness with forgiving self for what you believed or what you attached to in the time in order to move forward or in order to do what needed to be done. There's a need for you to not look externally for the issues, but look internally as well. There are external things that do come up in life that are a problem, but there's something about how you perceive those things going forward. Someone can hurt you and that can really sting, but how you perceive yourself in that moment affects everything and it affects your trajectory. Do you think you're worthy of being hurt like that? If you do, then you're going to perpetuate this idea that you're just not lovable or you're not worth a good relationship or something like that. And that's not true. But this is just this is our mind and our inner critic sometimes. So just be careful with that. And also just don't withdraw from society out of fear. There's a need for hermit mode at times, but don't withdraw from society altogether, because in the deepest sense of self and of humanity, we do need people. Community is so important, guys. Don't withdraw out of fear or negative judgments of others. What you see outside of yourself likely is within you. Don't refuse to help others in need as well. So if you see someone going along a path that feels familiar to you, don't be destructive in how you communicate what they should do, and don't kind of have a pessimistic view or allow a pessimistic view to persist in your life if it's not helping you truly on a deeper level. It may help you get out of trouble in a sense, quote unquote. Like, it may help you avoid doing the things that hurt you in the past, but you're also missing out on something in the process. Don't pursue pleasure to the detriment of your health, or indulge or overeat, overdrink, over false ground, meaning using for instance, weed, pot, whatever you want to call it, or other things that in excess to where it's not even accomplishing what you want it to, because it's just kind of like you're dependent on it at this point and you're becoming kind of a slave to it. There's a distinction between doing something that helps you open up your intuitive senses, and there's another thing where you're dependent on it because you've given your power away to it. They're just saying these things to help you guys out. And as you go through them, please slow down or pause if you would like to write them down. I'm just going through them really quick because I have things to do here at home. But there's something here about not offering destructive criticism as well. There's something about being a false judge, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority, trying to get away from certain things in life, but doing it in a way that's not in integrity. They want you to be in integrity with your life, with your path. Your higher mind knows you're better than that. And they want you to not feel like you're unable to defend yourself against negative forces. Stop letting things pursue you is what I'm feeling. Like, don't let negative forces pursue you and allow it to sit with you too long. You have to address it. And your spirit team is really healing a lot, or working with you on a lot of healing. Because a lot of you are ascending, okay, guys? A lot of you are meeting divine partnerships. This is with friendships, with coworkers, with alliances that you make in various forms. You're beginning to see things with fresh new eyes, and you're beginning to consolidate your timelines. So I feel like spirit team, your higher mind is leading this as always. So just remember, your ascension process is determined by you and your higher self, and that you don't have to rush into something to conform to what others are doing and what others are saying you should do. Really allow yourself to know that even if it's wishful thinking, it's coming from a place of needing to explore greater horizons here. So I look forward to hearing more about what specific people have seen this message, or what you've gleaned from this. It would be really, really wonderful to connect with my soul tribe, to connect with people that resonate with this information, that are going through this transformative process and letting go emotionally, spiritually, physically, just letting things go and moving forward towards what is meant for and is pivotal for their ascension process. So please let me know what you think. Please like, share, comment. I will be doing more of these videos very soon, so please let me know what you think. If you'd like to be a part of the community and to share your voice, we would love to hear you. But that is all for now. You guys take care. Have a happy day. Happy Valentine's Day whenever you see this. Okay, take care.